Let's take a minute and look at exactly what's happening behind the scenes when you use ReplicAItor Coach. Because on the outside, it can feel a little like magic. You upload something, and a few minutes later, you get structured feedback, insights, and next steps. But there's a very specific process happening that makes it work. The easiest way to understand this is to think of it as a pipeline. Your input goes through a series of steps. Each step adds more context, more structure, and more intelligence to the final output. First, you upload a video or audio file, and the system converts that into text. This is transcription. Every word that you say gets turned into something that the system can analyze, because at its core, AI works best when it can read and process structured information. So before anything else happens, your content is translated into a format the system can work with. Now, if your input includes video, there's a second layer, vision analysis. This is where the system looks at what's actually happening. Things like movement, positioning, timing, or overall presentation. It's not just listening to what you say, it's also evaluating what you do. Essentially, what it's doing is it's breaking it down frame by frame and converting that into an image that it can then analyze. And it analyzes the images sequentially. This is what allows it to go beyond surface level feedback and actually comment on performance. Now, let's talk about prompt layering. This is where it really starts to come together. Everything gets passed into what's called prompt layering. This is where multiple pieces of context are combined. The expert's coaching style, the expert's, not only their coaching style, but their personality traits, your profile and background, your focus area, the question that you asked, your actual input. If you've provided more than one piece of input, it takes each piece of input and processes those sequentially into the prompt layering. And all of that is layered together into a structured prompt. So instead of the system just answering a question, it's applying a very specific way of thinking about the specific situation. This is what makes the feedback feel intentional instead of generic. From there, the system generates feedback. It analyzes patterns, identifies strengths and weaknesses, and suggests next steps. This is the part you see, but it's built on everything that came before it. At the same time, it creates a report card. This is where the system takes that analysis and turns it into structured scoring. Different categories, different metrics, all based upon the type of coaching that you're doing. It gives you a clear snapshot of where you are right now. So obviously, the metrics for scoring how you are performing when you're hitting a golf ball are completely different than the metrics of when you're doing a public presentation or the metrics that you might use when you're trying to grow your business. So the coach has input on what metrics to measure you on. Now, at the same time, this process does have limits. It can only analyze what it can see and what it's been given. If something important is missing, it won't magically fill in the gaps. But when you give it good input and clear direction, this pipeline works extremely well. So that's what's happening behind the scene. Transcription, vision analysis, prompt layering, and structured feedback with a report card.